Hello everyone, I'm High Treason, and welcome to part 35 of The Long Drive. That rhymes, I like it. It doesn't say the game name on the title screen again. I'm sure it did for a time, but didn't before, and... Didn't I already notice that? Jeez, I can't remember. I don't suppose it's very important as long as it runs. Yeah, I'll let you see this just to see that the load times are getting longer, and they will get longer and longer. We already fixed that, so we won't worry about it. And we're going to continue onward. The building has indeed moved, but that two-stroke engine... Ghosts. Let's get out of here. There we go. I found the alignment weird with how the negative isn't, you know, it knocks the text to the side. It's probably because I come from build engine land where you wouldn't be able to, like, easily implement those as, like, one string on the screen. Well, I guess you can now, but I don't think there was any facility to really do that kind of thing early on. In Duke Nukem 3D, all the text is center aligned, I think, like, and there's no way around that. Like, it all aligns to the center of the string. What I recall, it sounds right to me anyway. I suppose it matters. I do get the feeling I'm like the only dude who does anything for that game engine on this channel, like, really, at least like that. I know we have people who build maps and stuff, but not many of them, just because there aren't many of us. You know, we're a dying breed. I'm pretty much retired from it at this point, so there's one less of us, you know. It's not to say I won't come back someday, but I'll never do anything on a large scale again. There won't be another dimension shift or anything like that. You know, that was my way of saying goodbye to doing large-scale projects with it, large-scale maps. I think I proved a point with it, at least, you know. It's, game can be 2 decades old, and you can still find ways of doing things nobody's done before. And I feel I've done my part for mapping, you know. There are other people who use machines like mine now, and that's good, you know. That was something I did want to see, because there are a lot of possibilities with it. I've not even explored close to all of them in my stuff. So, you know, it's good. I guess that's my mark on the mapping scene there. May people be confused and terrified for many years to come. And you know, when I did nitroglycerin, like, I think it was the third map I used machines in, really. You know, Riverside Town used very, very primitive ones. Quantum physics was kind of ambitious, but they were really clunky and inefficient, because it was, you know, the fast one was really just a sort of selector switch thing, and that was about it. I mean, there was an incremental counter, but that actually used explosions, so I'm never sure if I should count that or not. But certainly the selector switch was brand new. Nobody had done that before. And yeah, quantum physics, I tried doing like more snazzy things with that one. And it was when I released nitroglycerin that, you know, it started sort of break the rules a bit, where we could detect if players were running above a certain speed and everything. And that was when it started to be fun. Like, you know, I actually like smiled when I'd released it, and somebody told me, you know, like, I don't trust the level. Like, I feel like it's watching me or something. So it basically is, you know. People mention, you know, the invisible hand of the level designer, and, you know, you don't want people to feel like it's there, but I think my stuff, you always kind of feel the sense that, you know, I'm somewhere in that map. Like, you know, there's a part of me in that level somewhere. Just keeping an eye on you and pulling the strings behind the scenes. Dear me, my stomach's in a bad mood again. So while I'm doing this, I want to do some sequencing, but I can't really concentrate enough to do that, so we'll play this game. I didn't check our starting distance. The shit was what? Oh, like hell I remember. It doesn't really matter. This car's proven that it's capable of getting us over distances. I'm decently confident that we should be getting our distances out. Was it like 141 we started at? I really don't remember. Today I added distances to the video titles, but I think I'm going to change it to from distance rather than to distance, because otherwise you don't have that element of mystery. Are we going to make it? So, you know, well, unless you're watching this after they're uploaded, but yeah, you know, I think I'll do it that way, like push the numbers up by one part and do the starting total distance that we're at the beginning of each part. I don't really need anything. I'm going to get out and have a look. I'm not really fussed about 2105 engines anymore. That's a 2101. It might be a runner. It is green as well. That would run. We'll leave it there, and it might be there on our way back. It's unusual for something to spawn inside a car. I'm going to take a screenshot just because of how unusual that is. But yeah, we'll leave this car here, and we might use it when we're coming home. You know, maybe we'll see it up there and at the time need a car. Of course, it may not actually be working at that time. It might have been erased. Gasoline. Yeah, I don't think I need any of that yet. Loads of oil. Lots of oil. Gas and oil. Empty. The fuck is that? Is that like the back for the pickup? Another Dacia engine. James May'd be having a field day. Oh, well, we'll take this. We'll chuck this in just to make sure. Might as well, hadn't we? Yeah, we're not doing bad. It's not a gas guzzler. I thought we were missing a headlight then. I was like, when did we lose that? So I think there were thieves in the game or something. Tell you what, this thing isn't running a very... Then again, we just slept, didn't we? Wait, what happened to my frame rate? Is that when I look down there? My video card doesn't like the processing? No? Odd. It's probably like an entire fleet of alien babe ships loading in. Well, looked like the road ended there, didn't it? You know what, I'd be disappointed, but at the same time it'd be kind of cool as A, it would be the shortest road anybody's ever got, and B, we could then take that Vaz and start driving the other way. Not that I dislike this car, the Skoda's doing as good actually, I quite like the Skoda in this game. Like, it is a dorky looking little car, but I actually found a photo of the Skoda 100 in this very colour. So we own a piece of history in this game now. Yep, we're doing good. We're doing alright for ourselves here. My stomach feels weird. It really needs to sort its problems out. It's nowhere near as bad as it... Oh no, not another grass biome. Please let us just clip the edge of it and go into some... Oh, jeez. It always feels like it's going to roll, this car, when you have to turn sharp like we did through them rocks. Yes, I hit the bunny. I'm sure I just had another one. We probably angered them. And yeah, I did hit the bunny because, you know, the fucker was, like, roaring at us. We can't have that. Them lionesses are going to roar when I'm fucking ramming them. Dear me. Guts, can you stop it with the gas? It's annoying. It's not that bad right now. Sometimes it's just constant. I'd love to know where it comes from. Like, how can your stomach produce such a high quantity of gas in such a short space of time? Like, you know, it produces litres and litres and litres of it. Way more than its, like, internal capacity, I'm sure. Now, a lot of it, you know, I don't know how it works, but my stomach will have a fair amount of internal damage that it has to heal it. And, you know, it's just, I'm not sure where the gas comes from. Does it come from in my stomach itself? Or does it come from down in my intestines somewhere, I wonder? Because I don't feel it coming up through my intestines, but if it's right at the start of my intestines, and I suspect that there is damage there, you know, it would make sense, because if it's damaged there, you know, it won't be digesting properly, and if the food's breaking down and it's not doing it properly, then surely it produces gases, because most things that, you know, as they're broken down, like whether in your stomach or some other way, breaking something down chemically tends to produce gas. And some foods are worse than others. You know, 4 hours ago I ate a sandwich. Sandwiches are really actually quite hard to digest, it turns out. You know, they're one of the toughest things for my stomach, sandwiches. But I can't eat them again now. You know, there's plenty of time for about a year where I couldn't really eat them. Like, I wasn't really eating much because I just couldn't. That rock, I'm sure, just popped in rather than been there ahead of time. It was just to the right of us on the road, like back there. Yeah, it's these squally roads again. I'd love to know what they were doing with the machines. You'd think the line marking men, like, would have just still gone straight instead of following it. For some reason, I sort of envision this road is like laid in one step. I just picture that there's this really big truck thing that drives along and the road just sort of gets laid off the back of it. It really felt like a car was going to load. That was sticking in the road, the building, you know, I don't know if you caught that. And that does happen, and, you know, as I say, the farther out we go, the more sort of broken things will become. Now, it's pure chance whether it'll be just little things like that, or if it'll be completely and utterly, you know, face-fucking itself in some way or another. It probably won't be too severe, but, you know, we will see the occasional funky thing like that. More than we would at the start of the game. We're about 25k in the journey today. We're doing okay, so we got that going for us. And I'll tell you what, I actually quite like this terrain. I'm glad of this. Like, after all them fucking mountains, it's quite nice to have some flat. It looks like we're going to be going back in the mountains, and we'll get more and more of them as we go out. But, you know, at least we're getting to enjoy some flat terrain here. I probably am going to have to start stopping for gas. I'm not going to stop yet, so we won't be stopping this building, but we will be stopping probably pretty soon, like, you know, within the next few buildings to try and put gasoline in, because we're starting to eat through it a bit. I mean, we're hammering the engine here, so, you know, it's a given. It's not... I'm quite happy to guzzle gas if we're moving, and we are hauling ass right now. I mean, look at us, we're doing 160k, and it will be accurate, because this speedo's like maybe the only one that doesn't like have a stop at the end, and it will just go down through its face, to be honest, I believe. It's just we can't see it because there's a panel there and we can't remove that. I wonder if the road will pass now that boat. That would be a good place to go looking for gasoline. I feel like we pull into the right. The engine might have come loose, because when you load the games, the old engine, the one that's on the back seat, Because when you load a game, the items in the basket and everything are temporarily, I think, have their physics back on again. And again, my cigarette's still there. So maybe it doesn't do that anymore. Because that used to be a problem. And it was a problem when I was driving out here on my own. Like, you know, I kept the petrol and diesel engine for the pickup because I did it all in a pickup past about the first 160k. And I kept swapping engine depending on the terrain. I was using infinite fluids like glitches the whole time, so you know I never needed to worry about getting fuel for either of them. And yeah, every now and then I'd load the game and an engine that was in a basket, you know, one of the two engines, the one that wasn't currently in use, would have its physics on again, and sometimes it wouldn't catch the basket before I'd start driving. It'd knock my truck all over the fucking place. I suppose a way to test how it works now would be to stick a basket onto something upside down and then see if the object falls out when we start the game again. You know, just do it with something unimportant. Stick a basket to the ceiling that already has a bar of chocky in it, and then when we load the game, see if the bar of chocky is still there, you know, when we start the next part, and if it's fall out, then we know it still works this way. It is quite close to the road, isn't it? Okay then, I think we'll go to the boat. Might want to slow down a bit, it's probably going to be a bit rough unless we have a bit smoother edging on here. Looks like that's the best we're going to get. Here we go, going out to the boat. We'll see if there's any gasoline. I'm not in urgent need of it, but you know, I'd like to top it up. And this would be convenient, because, well, then again, you know, do you really save time being in the boat? Oh, we could have avoided that. Then again, I guess we're going to straight a line doing it this way, aren't we? There we go. Brake's pretty good on this car, actually. Right, let's have a look for gasoline. There's not tons in this boat, but we'll see. Yeah, we could drive the car in here, especially it's quite short, that one, but the problem we have with that, I wondered what that was then. It's a tree. The problem we have is if, you know, I don't plan on getting murderized by bunny rabbits. Bunny rabbit. Oh, I guess she's kind of smashable. But, yeah, I don't plan on it, but there's, you know, not to say that, you know, this game does glitch sometimes, and, you know, if I get stuck in the geometry and have to reload the game, the boat will move a little bit. And I have had that nearly put a fucking stop to, you know, the full drive I did on my own when I drove my pickup in here, and yeah, it didn't end well. Really didn't end well. That's full of fucking diesel. Do we not have? Gasoline isn't really a guarantee in these. That's full of oil. What is this one? Is this like two-stroke or something? It was. And that one was empty. And this was also empty. I did check all these, didn't I? I did. That was full of diesel. You know what we're going to do here? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be mean. What's this? I'm going to be really, really cruel. I'm going to appease the wicked girl, and we'll soon know if she's out there and like spying on me. Yeah, wait there, barrel. There you go. That'll solve that problem. That'll never grow again. I feel pretty bad about that, to be honest. That's ruined my day now. I like trees. Anyway, yeah, I don't think we're getting lucky on the gasoline in here. It's not going to give me any now. It's going to like karma me, isn't it? Like, no, you did a bad deed. Now you can't have any fuel. Empty. Why can't we just pour empty in the car? Like, if we poured empty in, surely it would run on that. I've heard people say, oh, it's running on empty, but this game doesn't let you pour the empty out of the barrels. Maybe it's really thick. You know, maybe it's really, really thick, and it just doesn't come out. Yeah, there ain't no gasoline in here. That's a shame. Well, never mind. I could do with some oil, but couldn't I? Ah, I'm sure I just topped that off, actually. I don't know, actually. Yeah, fuck it, let's get an oil barrel. Otherwise, this was a waste coming in here, wasn't it? There we go, there's oil. It's a heavy one. Oh, we ain't that slow with it. Shit. Shit! There we go. There we go. And this radiator's using water up. Right, let's fucking get out of here. Jesus Christ, all the smoke. Oh no, I left the fucking... I guess it's the hood. Is it? I mean, you call the thing there, like the frunk. So I don't know what that's called at the back now. Jesus Christ. God damn. Don't roll. There we go. This was convenient. I didn't know this was here. I just spotted it. It's like, oh, cool. I might be able to do our basket test here. Basket case. That's wheels. I don't need those. I got plenty of them. Well, I got 4 of them. But that's alright, because the car only uses 4. Close this as well. We were doing that for aerodynamics, is making the car run more efficiently. Yeah, got fucking night time again already. Yeah, that's probably in the basket as far as the game's concerned. There's only meat up here. Well, I don't need it. There you go. I don't have the survival mechanic turned on, so... Shit. Right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tip my basket upside down, swing your partner, do-si-do. What is that from? Probably some insufferable neo-country song from the late 1990s. Now, I like country music. I don't much like neo-country music. That stuff's garbage. Let's fall asleep. I was glad hamster dancing came along and killed it, to be honest. How did they never get sued by Disney anyway? Like, there must have been a lawsuit from Disney. In any case, it seems that song ended the neo-country fad, so I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened. Clouds. They always shadow the grass biomes a lot. They might just show up more because of the colour palette. Wow. I guess this is uphill. How steep is it? Moderate. Ah, stomach, what are you doing? It doesn't hurt, I'm just getting these cramping feelings at the bottom of it. I'm probably got a big fart coming or something. That's quite often what that means. Like there's gas bubbles somewhere in my intestines. Like some of the gas has to go down instead of up, doesn't it? Yeah, it feels like sort of the where your intestines end and you've just got bowel, is where it sort of feels like it's just before there. So, it's probably gas that I'm feeling. That's probably an hour or so away. I'm told a lot of people can't actually feel things moving in their digestive tract, and I find that weird. Like, pretty much everyone in my family, we can all feel things moving through our intestines and everything. It feels really weird sometimes. But yeah, I've had doctors tell me a few times, like, you're not supposed to be able to feel that. It's like, well, I can, so... So I know where my food is at all times, all the way along its journey. There are a couple of places where I can't feel it, which is even weirder, because you'd think it'd just be the whole way through, but no. There's somewhere in the middle of it that I can't feel it anymore. So I sort of feel it go around the first bit of my intestines, then there's nothing, and then I feel it as it's getting close to the end. And I can feel it going the whole way through my bowels. Fluids I don't feel quite so much, I can sort of feel my kidneys doing things, like when I wake up in the morning and I drink water. I'm sort of aware that they're doing something. But, if I'm like really thirsty, I feel it in my arm, of all places. Which is really strange. Like when I'll gulp a load of water down, I get this feeling like it's running down inside my arms. But yeah, beyond that, the next time I feel fluid is when it wants to come out. Usually in pretty sizable quantities. I drink about 8 litres of water a day, so, if not more. I always have done, so it's not unusual for me to expel a couple of litres of that at once. I'm not sure why my car wouldn't go then, that was really weird. Oh man. A state version of a 2101. We have to drive one sometime. Yeah, this basket's blocking my view. I'm going to throw it out in the next part, definitely. We're not keeping that. That can fuck off. I was going to say let's look at that tower just because we haven't been to one, but we actually did, I think, when we first got to Plymouth. You don't usually see them anywhere near that close to the road. That's actually quite unusual. I think they used to spawn closer to the road. I'm sure I remember the first time I played them being quite close to the road, but it might have just been the seed I was on. I think the 2105 was the first car I ever drove in this game. It was a blue one. And it was shit. It was like kind of bugged because it just overheated no matter what I did. And like, yeah, I was new to the game, but I definitely had full oil. I definitely put full water in it and it would still overheat. Like, I don't like the 2105 in this game, we know this. At some point, because I drove one for like one part, I did a grand total of what, fucking 18 kilometres in it, so yeah, at some point we're going to have to drive one, aren't we? I guess what we'll do then is, for our next car we'll try and get a Trabant, because that's bad, and then I'll go over to the 2105 maybe. I think this Trabant actually drives quite nice, I find. It's not a bad car to drive, it's just very slow. We will not be doing these kinds of speeds, and this is one reason I really want to get the progress down in this car. I'm trying to figure out how much time I've got. Probably quite a bit actually. I probably have 10-15 minutes left. I'll go another 10 minutes. What the fucking shit. And I guess I'll call it done. We're 5k off our target distance, so yeah, that feels about right. That I've probably been going about a half hour. But yeah, we'll drive a 2105. I might actually prefer it to the Dacia, but at some point, like I say, there's less cars than car swaps based on the kind of schedule that I tend to change car on. So we will be driving some vehicles more than once, that's just a given. So, you know, at some point we probably will try a Dacia with the white wall tyres. Just, I am curious how it'll handle. And I could just go off-world and test it, you know, in a save that has nothing to do... Fucking hell, it's a rock party. Fucking... You got a lot to answer to, Dwayne. But yeah, you know, I could go and test it in my own time, but I think I'll leave it. I think I'll leave it and we can find it out together. You know, we'll test it in one of these at some point. Even if it's like when we're not driving that car, if we're just somewhere in, say, Plymouth and a Dacia at the same time, then we'll swap the wheels and we'll see if it makes it unstable. Because it shouldn't bang in the floor so much anymore, that's for certain. I'm going to stop here and check for fuel. Just because we're making really good time, so I might as well deal with the gasoline issue. It's not a problem yet, not by far, but, you know. We might as well have a stop, hadn't we? Get out, piss the building a bit. There you go. Don't want to be doing that in the car. It'd be a bit unpleasant. There you go, I'll go there, you go that way boys, you go that way girls, and now I'm going to set off and leave you. Quick, before the bastards come back. That's it. You're staying there now. That's your new house. Oh, for fuck's sake, fine. There you go, get in. Shut the fucking door behind you, you bastards. My fucking car, I gotta pay for this petrol. What do you mean I just nicked it? No, I didn't. I fucking didn't. How would you know? You was off behind the building taking a shit in the sand. You couldn't have possibly known what I was doing. I totally paid some guy for that gasoline. I obtained it legitimately. You're just making things up now. Should we turn the car around? I'll turn around and go home. Right, okay then. Home we go. You've annoyed Daddy now. We ain't going to Mum's, we ain't going to the seaside. What do you mean you didn't want to go to Mum's anywhere? Well, you should have bloody said, shouldn't you? Obnoxious bastards. I'm going to give you a clout when we get there. I'm going to spank you so fucking hard. It's going to be like you've never been spanked before, and you'll learn to fucking like it. Need some discipline. Your mother doesn't discipline you enough. And I'm going to put that right. She ain't here with us. She ain't here. Like, oh, what's this? Oh, she ain't here. And yeah, you ain't sitting in the front seat. You sit in the fucking back, because that's where you belong. This is Daddy's car, and it's Daddy's rules, and Daddy will do whatever the fuck he wants in here. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Daddy can listen to the radio really loud if he wants to. Well, those are probably the creepiest things I ever said on this channel. It was kind of fun, though. Oh, jeez. Oh, my saliva went the wrong way. Oh, you'll be coughing something up when Daddy's done with you, that's for fucking sure. The birth of you. Right. I think we've... I'm not looking at the odometer. Let's have a look. We should be pretty... Oh, jeez. Is we? I reckon we is. We're like 2k past our target here, I think. With time to go, so we're doing alright. We're maintaining pretty much equilibrium on the fuel supply, so again, we're doing alright. We ain't really in any bother right now. Everything's about fine. The terrain's going easy on us. The car's doing its job. You obnoxious fuckers in the back of it have been a nuisance. Don't punch your sister, that's not nice. Don't spit on your brother, that's not very nice. Don't twist your sister's arm, that's not very nice. Ah, for heaven's sake. I'm going to have to stop the bloody car and drag you both out of it again, aren't I? Well, in any case. Yeah, this went well. You know, sometimes I don't think we want eventful parts. Like, it's not going to be a hectic thing. It's not an action game. It's not an action game, is it, really? And this suits me, you know, I'm into adventure games, and this doesn't really play like an adventure game, but You know, to me it's quite normal to have a game that isn't like super duper fast paced. I do still intend to play the Larry games on here, it's just finding the time to do it and everything. They're quite time consuming, those types of games. And plus I haven't really had a viable way to record like things like that. And I still don't. Like, I'm going to have to just record the desktop and then like crop the capture application window in the recording. It's the only way I can do it, unfortunately. Unless I just do no editing, but then you're going to get some weird bastardized widescreen thing out of OBS. In a lot of games, you know, really I need to do at least a little bit of editing at times. Especially if I'm doing adventure games, because sometimes if I don't remember something, it can take a long, long time to figure out. And nobody really just wants, like, you know, 20, 30 minutes of silence staring at the screen as I sit there and try and play chess in my brain somewhere, you know. Unless we could just cut to a PC play. Yeah, I could probably just leave a PC just running battle chess on a loop and just flip a switch to replace the feed with that every time that happens. I don't really want to do that. I mean, it has to be a PC. I'm pretty certain that game's on, like, the Amiga. I don't own one of them. I sold that. That was one of the first things to go in my console trading scheme. 15 years that took. 15 fucking years. It took me to be able to go and buy a Profit 5 from, like, trading consoles, you know. It worked. It fucking worked. Like, and I'm happy with that. And I have another scheme going. I don't even know what I want the money for from the other scheme, but it can't hurt to have more of it, right, if it works. So I didn't do anything illegal or nothing really shady, you know. I mean, I would if I could get away with it and it wasn't going to hurt anyone. I mean, this is the thing, you know, it's... If I did do something shady, it wouldn't be to an individual, it would be to, like, a corporation or a government. Because they're unfeeling entities, you know, it's... I want to make that clear. But I didn't do anything illegal or anything, you know. I basically just planned ahead. It was like, all this shit is worthless, I can get it for next to nothing. You know, essentially because I was trading in a console that had cost me £5 and getting 50 quid for it minimum. If I bought a fully boxed Atari Jaguar for 40 on that store credit, essentially it just cost me £4. And it's like, right, there's not tons of these, people aren't interested in them, but, you know, we go forward a decade or so, probably the price is going to go up, probably they're not that reliable because it's fucking Atari and they'll break. So... You know, it's post 2600 Atari. Everything after the 2600 is just an unreliable piece of shit. And yeah, you know, the prices went up, and then I sold everything. And there are people, like console collectors now, who really, really hate me for having done that. But, well, I'm sorry, it's a market, and, you know, just because I'm better at fucking capitalism than you doesn't mean you've got to get all fucking butthurt on me. I got what I fucking want. And that's what fucking matters. There was nothing stopping you doing the same fucking thing. And the only reason you didn't is because you didn't fucking think of it, or you didn't think of it until I'd already fucking done it. And I'm sure it probably did have a slight effect on the economy of these things. Probably not a very big one, because it's full of fucking scalpers. So, you know, I don't know what you're mad at me for, but hey, be mad. And I'm going to learn how to play Pet Shop Boys Opportunities on that synthesizer, I think. I've got the brains, you've got the brawn. Let's make lots of money. And I shit you not, it was playing in my head when I was selling things. It's that evil of me. Nah, my luck in life has generally been quite poor on a lot of things, so... What did I tell you about throwing breakable? That's it. Slap, 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 slap. That'll fucking teach you a lesson. Right, well, we'll have a look for gasoline or something, and then I'm going to end the part. This one's really full. That's full of diesel. Well, can't go wrong with that. Hey, there's cleaning supplies. I don't think anything our car needs cleaning. We got this car cleared up actually really fast. Somebody's peeing. I thought I told you to go when we were at that gas station. And if you heard the noises. We knocked a bucket off somewhere. Wow, there's like no gas in here. Yeah, just casually move the V8 out of the way. I'm sure it's not heavy at all. It's another Dacia. I'm sure it's the ghost of the one we had. It's just coming back to haunt me over and over again. We're breaking even on gasoline all the time. This is weird. Fling. I like the way it rolled over. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I better get my pencil as well, because I've been writing these on the wall as of today. Yeah, my house isn't decorated, so I just write on walls and then rub it out when I want to write something else on. So there are advantages to being forced to live in a shitty house. If you write on the fucking bedroom wall, you're going to get a slap. Oh, 1785, I tell you what. That's not bad. 35. 178. A great thing with this is I can look over it. If I keep tabs on it, I can always just look there to know what part number we're up to. 1785. Well, we did more than 60k, I know that much. We did about 65k. That's pretty good going. The Vaz is still the record holder for the most distance. I don't know if it'll stay that way forever, but yeah, that thing has just trampled everything else. So, I'm High Treason, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, which I might just record immediately, I don't know actually. We'll see how I feel.